Hello everyone, you're welcome to my channel once again today. So on today's tutorial I'll be showing you how to make a DIY corset bustier top. So the measurement I'm using for today is 19 inches. That's the length of the fabric I'm using. As you can see, this is an Ankara fabric. So here I'm measuring my shoulder measurement divided by 2, and when you measured 7 inches downwards, that will give you the armhole. Then I have my shoulder to under bust plus the sewing allowance, so that will give you 12 inches. Then we'll go down as well and measure the waistline, so that is 36 inches plus sewing allowance. So remember to always add your sewing allowance, please. So from here now, I'm going to trace it. So that I'm tracing it from the shoulder down to my under bust, from my under bust down to my waist, and there I'm going to cut out all the excess. I'm just marking out all this. I purposely use the chalk as reference so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So because I get messages most times, people say they don't see clearly what I'm doing. So that's why I'm using the fabric itself, and I'm using the white chalk. So here now I am, from the bust measurement, from the under bust measurement, I'm taking out 1 inch, just a little bit, yeah, almost 1 inch, and there I'm going to place that is where I'm going to use as a reference where my padded bra is going to be. So from there now, because my shoulder to my bust, my shoulder to my under bust is 13.5, so you have to adjust it and make sure that it is at the right spot so that it can give you that fit properly. Remember I said shoulder to bust measurement, shoulder to under bust. So these are the measurements that you need for getting this corset bustier top. So you just have to make sure you keep on tracing it like that, getting the measurement right until you're able to do that. So once you're done getting your shoulder to under bust and shoulder to bust measurement right, then you trace it out. You use chalk and trace it out. And yeah, you trace it out like that. And the next thing is to trim off the excess. Make sure when you're trimming it off that you leave a little bit of space from inside, not that you're cutting exactly where you gave the markings. So after cutting this out, I'm going to use this as well as a pattern to cut out the back. As you can see, this is generally a basic bodice, so it is very easy to do. It shouldn't take you an hour to finish this. So after this now, actually here I'm trying to get my nipple to nipple measurement. We call it bust point, so that is 4.5 inches. So you're going to trace it all the way up to the center of the bust where the bust point is. You're going to trace it all the way up, and you leave it there, and that is where we are going to form our dart. And you make a reference at the front and at the back, and also do the same thing with the back pattern as well. You can decide how you want to do the back pattern. It all boils down to you. If you want, you can make the back curved. If you want, you make it straight. You are the boss of what you want for your basic bodice for the back. So, but for this one, I'm cutting just a straight pattern for the back. I just want something very easy and simple. As I said earlier, this is the easiest way to make your bustier cut, and it is very, very detailed. So after using the front as a pattern, I'm going to cut out and then mark out my dot as well for the back. Remember to trim off all the excesses properly, and also remember to also leave 2 inches, because you can see there's 2 inches space for zipper allowance. It depends if you want to use zipper or you want to use string. Some people use string for the back of the corset bustier, but I'm not using string. What I'm using is zipper. So you leave 2 inches for zipper allowance. So now I'm tracing the dart for the back as well. I'm using the front as a reference for the back. And now that I've gotten my reference for the back, I'm going to cut the back. Remember, the back is folded into 2. So I'm going to cut it out. Cut it out into 2. Then cut it out again into 4 pieces. Into 2, that's where the zipper goes at the center. Then into 2 again to form my dot. I'm super excited about this sewing, and my subscribers, if you are new, please remember to subscribe. Always leave a comment below and I will respond back to you. And my subscribers, I really thank you all for being there for me. So now I've traced my dot and I'm going to sew it all the way down. I'm sewing it all the way down, and you need to be careful so that you know that you're getting, because I already eyeballed it and I know what I'm doing here. If you know you cannot do it straight, you can actually use pin. You pin it down to make your dot. If you want, leave a message for me to make a tutorial on how to make dot. And I'm going to repeat the same process for the other side as well. So we'll sew it as well, and when I'm done with the front, I'm going to iron them. Do the same thing for the back as well, and iron. Ironing is your best friend. Remember to keep iron at every given point. Each time you're done sewing, you need to iron. That is what brings out the beauty of what you're doing, and you are able to know when you're making mistakes. I always say this at every tutorial, but as I always say, ironing is your best friend. So here I am just using the cup just to make sure that I'm right on track, measuring to see that I have done it right. As you can see, if I've done the dot, and I'm about to do the back as well. So I'm going to join the back, hem that area from both sides. So I just want to thank everyone. Finally, I have been monetized. I thank you, my subscribers. I'm actually planning of making a series whereby each week I make a cloth, I send it to one or two of my die-hard subscribers, those people that has been there from day one. I really want to show my appreciation. I told you guys that I'm planning something big, so this is how I'm going to give back. I'm going to be making clothes for the next 3 weeks or a month, and each week each of my subscribers stand a chance of getting one of the fabrics that one of the designs that I make. So let's all keep supporting Teresa. I appreciate you all. So here I'm done with the back. So I have as I said, ironing is your best friend, so you need to iron. I folded all the sides of the top, and after ironing them, you fold, and sew. I'm sewing. This is the front I'm sewing now, and when I'm done with the back, with the front, I will do the same thing at the back. So I'm sewing the center as well. I'm doing all the joinings now. So when I'm done with that as well, I will do the other side. Yes, as I said earlier, this is the basic bodice bustier corset crop top. It is super easy to make, and don't let anyone fool you into telling you that making a crop top is difficult. It's not difficult. All it takes is time, dedication, and make it a priority. So now I'm done sewing all the sides. As you can see, it's looking so neat. So I'm going to cut out fabric that I'm going to use, because we need a pattern for the bra. We can't just put the bra like that. We can't just sew the bra like that onto the fabric. So we need a fabric to use as a pattern to sew onto the cup. So this is what I'm using. So I'm going to fold the fabric into 2 and into 4. Did you see what I did? I folded into 2. I'm cutting out the excess now. First of all, I folded into 2. Yeah, into 2 and into 4. Then I'm going to place my cup on it and trace it, then form like a cone, but it's not a finished cone. Then you cut out. You cut out your pattern. So now that we've cut out our pattern, we're going to go ahead and sew on 2 sides together. Sew them together. Then we place the bra inside. Remember, you sew the insides, the good parts in, and the wrong sides out, and sew together. The pattern for the bra is very easy to make. You fold into 2, then into 4, place your bra on it, and cut out like a cone, not unfinished cone. Then use the bra cup to cut out your desired pattern. So now that I'm done cutting out, sewing the pattern for the cup, I'm trimming out the excess, and I'm going to place my cup. I'm going to place my cup inside for you to see what I meant. Yes, this is what, when we are done, this is what the bra is going to look like. The cup is going to look like. So to avoid it to avoid the bra from looking all bumpy from outside, you're going to pin it down and make it flatten it to the bra so that it is stuck to the bra. Then you sew it all the way round. Just trace it and follow the design of the bra. So as I said, I'm pinning it down now, making sure that it's not forming any form of bumps around. So I'm going to sew all the way around. Just take your time and sew it in. And as you're sewing, just keep an eye at the bottom of the fabric, making sure that it's not squeezing at the back, at the front. So you sew it however you feel comfortable doing it. But this, for me, this is the best way for me, that I get my results. I like to sew from the inside, so I see where the cup is. I'm able to trace from the right part of the bra, and I know I'm going to get the best results so far. So now that I'm done with sewing, I'm going to cut out, and I'm super excited because our bra, our corset top is coming to life. So now I'm going to cut out. I'm going to trim off the excess, and be careful when trimming because you can accidentally cut off part of the bra cup. Yeah. So remember to cut carefully all the way around. You cut all the way around neatly, gently. Don't be in a hurry to do what you're doing. So this is your moment. You own it. Do your best out of it. So this is what it's looking like now. As you can see, we've got our design out. So I'm going to repeat the same pattern for the second one. So we are done now with the second one. And I ironed a bias for the bra. I made a bias, and the bias I made, I used the fabric to make a bias. So I'm using to sew it all the way around because we don't want the edges to look rough when we sew it onto the fabric. So that's why I came up with this. So we're going to sew it all the way around on the tips of the bra cup, on the tips of the cup. Sew it on all the way around. And when you're doing this, you need to be as careful as you can. Don't be in a hurry. Take your time. This is your moment. This is your time. Take your time to sew this. Sew it all the way around. So I sew it all the way around. All the way around, and yeah, as I said, don't be in a hurry because this is a beautiful design and you need all your time to get it right. As I said, it doesn't take long. It doesn't take more than an hour to get what you're doing right, but you need all your concentration on what you're doing. So as you can see, I'm sewing all the way around the bra, the cup. So when I'm done with this now, I'm going to repeat the same method on the other side. So we are done stitching it together, and we cut out the excess. Yeah, this is what the outcome looks like. So now I'm going to sew it all the way around, I'm going to attach it to the fabric to form our corset, front corset, bustier corset. So this is what it's going to look like by the time we are done sewing it. So I'm going to go ahead now, and if you're not comfortable holding it directly and sewing to the sewing machine, you can pin it down. You can pin it all the way around and sew. But because it's a lot easier for me, so that's why I'm sewing it like this. But if you know you're not comfortable, just pin it down and sew all the way around. You're doing it right. Whichever way we are all arriving at the same bus stop. So when you're sewing this, be extremely careful. Make sure you're following the point to point, and make sure that the bra is exactly fitted. It's exactly the size of the cup. It's exactly the size of the space created for it. So that when you're done sewing, you don't create an excess. There's no excess around it. So I'm just sewing all the way. So as I said to my subscribers, I really appreciate you all. Thank you all for all what you have done for me. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for being there. Without you all, I would not have been monetized by now. So I really appreciate you all. So you all rock, and you are the best thing around me so far. So now I'm almost done stitching the first part. So I'm going to repeat the same thing, the same method on the other side. As you can see now, it is neatly done. When I'm done sewing the other side, I'm going to stop stitch right on top of where I did the sewing, where the marking is. I'm going to top stitch right around it. So now I have top stitched, I have sewn the other part of the top. So we're going to join the back. So we are sewing the top of the back, and after that we're going to add this zipper. As you can see, I told you guys at the beginning that this is the easiest method, well detailed method of making a corset. So corset bustier top, corset crop top, anyhow you want to name it. So I'm doing the back now, and when I'm done with that, as I said earlier, we are going to go ahead and then fix the zipper. If you need assistance with zipper, please leave your comment below and let me know if you need assistance on how to make a zipper. And if you have not watched my other videos, please refer to my video. The a bralette video is something similar to this, but that was a bralette. And other sewings that I have, please do visit other links. So now I'm joining all the back together, and when I'm done with the back, I will affix the zip, and We are coming to the end of the sewing. I'm super happy. Everything is looking perfect and neat. Now this is the zipper. I'm fixing the zipper, and we are almost as good as done here. So please don't forget to subscribe, leave your comment below, and share my channel to everyone, share my link to everyone. I appreciate you all, and I thank you all for what you're doing for me so far. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Yeah, so this is the zip we are fixing here, and when I'm done with this side, I'm going to